We just talked about Creative Commons licenses with Andrea Zanni. In this lesson, you are going to meet Cable Green, who is Director of Open Education at Creative Commons. Creative Commons is a non-profit organization that enables the sharing and use of creativity and knowledge through free legal tools. Their free, easy-to-use copyright licenses provide a simple, standardized way to give the public permission to share and use a creative work under the conditions chosen by the author. CC licenses change copyright terms from all rights reserved to some rights reserved. Creative Commons licenses, thus, are not an alternative to copyright. We'll go deeper into the licenses topic further on. For now, let's listen to what Cable has to tell us, because his message is really clear and inspiring.
Hello, my name is Cable Green. I'm the Director of Open Education at Creative Commons. Creative Commons is a global nonprofit organization that creates the standard open licenses that the world uses to share educational resources, scientific literature, educational research, government data. Libraries, galleries, museums use our licenses to share information and data that they have in their collections as well. So basically anything that can be copyrighted can be shared with the public under an open license. That's what we do at Creative Commons. My area of expertise is in education, and I also work in policy. And so I think this video is mostly about open educational resources and the work that's happening around the world. First, let me say that open educational resources means something very specific. So when we say OER, or open educational resources, we mean that the resource, the educational resource, is both free, it's available at no cost, and you have the legal permissions to modify the resource. So usually we call these the 5 Rs, the legal rights to retain, reuse, revise, remix, and redistribute. So retain is, I get to keep a copy. This is important because a new model that we're seeing from the market is not to sell students or sell access, permanent access to faculty. The commercial publishers are starting to do is to lease access to digital resources. And that's fine. And it's lower cost than the old model. The problem is you don't get to keep a copy as you move from course to course or semester to semester at the university. So with OER, you get to retain it. You get to keep it forever. Reuse is I can use somebody else's work just as it is. Revise, I can modify it. Remix, I can take a little bit of this work and a little bit of this work from over here from the University of Barcelona, and I can modify it, remix, mash up those things together. And then redistribute, I can take that work and I can share it on my university website or on my blog with anybody else in the world. So for something to be OER, it's no cost, and I've got these legal rights to do whatever I need to do to make them fit my university, my classroom. What people use to share those legal rights are Creative Commons licenses. And so that's where I work. What's happening around the world and has been happening for about 15 years now is that educators around the world are sharing their content with the public under these open licenses. Why are they doing that? Really for 2 big reasons. One is that it's become very easy and very inexpensive to share digital content. So it costs a lot of money, a lot of time to produce a new course or a new textbook or a new video, but it doesn't cost anything anymore to store it, to distribute it, or to make copies of it. Now, when I say it doesn't cost anything, it still costs some money, but the cost is very, very low. It's thousandths of a cent in US currency, or it's thousandths of a euro if I'm in Italy, to store a digital textbook on a computer or on the cloud. It costs almost nothing to make a copy, and it costs almost nothing to distribute it over the web. And so educators now for roughly 15 years have said, wow, I've already created this digital thing. It works for my students. I wonder if it could work for somebody else, either at my university or maybe somewhere else in Italy. And so because I can share it at the marginal cost of zero, and I'm an educator, and education is all about sharing knowledge, about sharing information, do I have an ethical and a moral obligation to share with others? And more educators are saying, yes, I do. Creative Commons comes into play because our licenses, and these are free, they don't cost anything to use, are what educators can use to keep their copyright, keep their intellectual property, and share with the public some rights, which is why we say copyright is all rights reserved. If you use a Creative Commons license, that's some rights reserved. So you're keeping your copyright and you're sharing some rights with others. And so what others can do with your work is they can remix it, they can modify it. Maybe I need to translate it into a different language because maybe your work is written in Italian and you've got a colleague in Spain who's very excited about what you've produced, but they need to translate it into Spanish or maybe into Catalan. If it's got an open license on it, they have the legal rights to modify your work to meet their needs. So that's in a nutshell what's happening with open educational resources. Educators are sharing in a way that they've never shared before. They're not only sharing individual objects, a video, a syllabus, a textbook, but now they're sharing entire degree programs. And they're also sharing, in some cases, entire universities. So for example, MIT, all of their course curriculum is online and it's under an open license. So I look forward to meeting several of you. I look forward to working with you. And I hope that you will both start to share your resources under Creative Commons licenses and that you'll start to look globally and use and revise others' open educational resources. Good luck.